Joining us now, we've got Megan Hayes, former special assistant to President Biden, and Maura Gillespie, founder of Blue Stack Strategies and previous advisor to former House Speaker John Boehner. Megan, I want to start with you. Why did the administration wait until being told by a court that they needed to do the SNAP funding, saying that they need legal guidance, when they've already moved money around to pay for other things, including apparently this private donation they're saying is going to help pay the military? Why let this program lapse?
I mean, if you think about it, it's really disgusting that the president of the United States has to have a federal judge step in and tell you to pay SNAP benefits to feed children and senior citizens. It is really a gross place that we're at, but I assume that the president is doing this because he doesn't actually care. He's down in Mar-a-Lago, he's with his rich people, he's going to play golf today, all while everybody else who depends on these benefits and whose health insurance is raising is trying to figure out how they're going to pay their bills and how to pay to keep their lights on and pay to feed their families while he doesn't care. So I think that while it's nice that everyone is blaming everyone, Democrats and Republicans, but it's really the American people who are losing out, and Democrats can't negotiate with themselves. So they need Republicans to be in Washington to do their jobs, to figure out how to solve these problems. Affordability is the #1 issue facing the American people, and all they want are some solutions. They don't care who comes up with them. They just want solutions.
Yeah, I do wonder how many members of either party have ever had to put something back at a register at a grocery store or not been able to afford what they want to buy that week. Maura, I want to ask you, the Secretary of Agriculture said, quote, the silver lining of the shutdown is that we're now having a conversation about the SNAP program, which she says has become corrupt. Are Republicans hoping to use this shutdown as an excuse to reduce or eliminate some of these social and safety net programs? And do you think that that's going to be a good tactic with voters, given how strapped everyone in America is feeling right now?
I don't think by and large that's what the goal of this shutdown was. I think the Democrats have showed us that they don't know how to get out of it because they went into it not knowing how to get out of it. But I will say that this highlights the issues that their constituents are going to face as well. Republicans and Democrats are home in their districts, and I'm sure they're hearing from them about their concerns and about the cost of living that has not gone down as promised by President Trump. And so I don't think that a tactic would be to, cut a program that is so widely utilized. At the same time, earlier this year, we saw that the DOGE entity tried to eliminate the fraud, waste, and abuse. And if there were areas where there is overlaps, of course, that's something that Republicans would want to target, but it's certainly not their goal, and it shouldn't be.
Megan, what about that? Do Dems have a way out of this shutdown? Have they boxed themselves in here?
I don't know if they've boxed themselves in completely. I think that the American people are with them, and even Republicans by their own pollsters are saying that the American people want these subsidies to be extended, but they now need to figure out how they are going to get people paid and get people, the government back open and to continue to work. But to your earlier point, what Maura was saying, they already cut SNAP benefits in the big, beautiful bill. So this is just continuing to cut them more. The Republican Party continues to punch down and to only antagonize and to cause harm to people that are less fortunate than others. And it's really, the Democrats have to be standing on, principle here, but it's getting to a point where the American people can't take much more of it. So they need to find an off-ramp here.
So, Maura, do Republicans think they can basically wait out the Democrats and not have to put up anything in return? And do you think that's a viable strategy? It seems to me the more pressure builds, I'm not quite sure which way that pressure ends up. Do you think Republicans are going to get what they want, or do you think Democrats are going to get what they want? Or do you think we're all just going to be sitting here in a week having the exact same discussion?
I wish it wasn't the latter option, Christina, but unfortunately I do think that it is. I just don't see this. Again, when you have President Trump not in DC, you don't have the House they haven't been in session since September 19th. I mean, that's pretty stark to think about. And it doesn't show a good faith effort to the American people that members of Congress who are getting paid currently, that they're really working hard to resolve this issue. I do think where credit is due is to Senator John Thune. I understand they're out this weekend, but they've been having these votes, and he has offered his Democratic colleagues an off-ramp, as Megan was discussing, as far as saying, listen, I will bring the subsidies up for a vote. I also think that there needs to be a conversation. Republicans want to get this resolved as well. And to bring committees together is the best way of doing that. And letting the will of the people work its way through committees is always the better tactic. And Thune is a big advocate of that. And so I'm hoping that they can end the shutdown, have conversations, and get to work, because they're certainly getting paid too.
Well, Megan, of course, all this is happening as President Trump is throwing a lavish Gatsby-themed Halloween party and posting about redoing a White House bathroom entirely in marble. What are the optics there?
I mean, the optics are terrible, just with like tearing down the entire East Wing or giving $40 billion to Argentina to bail them out. It's, the optics here are terrible, but it just goes to show that he doesn't care about anybody but himself. And he only threatens members with primary candidates if it's going to impact something that he wants to do in his legacy. But the issue here is there are elections on Tuesday, and those elections are extremely important. And then there's another set of elections in the midterms that are also going to determine the control of the House. And I just think that some of these decisions that President Trump is making and the disregard he has for his own party that doesn't benefit him is going to impact the rest of the Republican Party. And so they need to figure out who they care about, whether it's their constituents in their district or whether they want to keep answering to Trump.